Hello, welcome back. It's time for a new game, and I'm just gonna let this intro sort of speak for itself. All right, number of months ago, I'm just gonna adjust this window real fast. Uh, I played through Suikoden 1. Uh, Suikoden 1 is one of my favorite RPGs, but it has a lot of flaws to it, and I can't really rank it super high because of those flaws. I love the story and everything, but God, it's rough around so many edges. Suikoden 2, however, I think takes that basic structure and easily makes it one of my all-time favorite games. Like period. Just like I love this game. It was actually I think I've mentioned this once or twice, but it is the reason that I started doing RPG night for streams because I wanted a reason to eventually stream this. Um, then yeah, let's not beat around the bush and just get into it. Um, as before, you name your main character and you can name whatever, but they do actually have canonical names. And the main character's name for 2 is Ryo. Joining me today is Crumb, at least for this first session. I don't know how many of these you're actually going to be around for, but this is more of a me game.
Exactly. Also, hello everyone.
Oh, 2 is so much better. Um, yes, we name our character, and then there's this nice little feature right here. Do you want to load save data from the first game? Now, doing this on the original console is extremely easy. You know, you just need a save a save file from the last save point, um, and that's it. For an emulator, I had to jump through some hoops. Um, Mainly, I needed to like copy the save RAM from one. Like, I pretty much needed to copy the Suikoden 1 save RAM and rename it to the Suikoden 2 save RAM, and that actually worked. So hitting this, and there's Tyr from. There's only 20 hours in that game. And that's going to change some things. There are going to be more references to the first game by loading the data from one. Because this takes place like 2 years after the first game or something like that.
I believe it's 3.
Okay. I don't know what version of Suikoden 2 I have. I googled the ISO and downloaded it. So,
Who's this ponytail guy?
he's a good
I don't like
character.
him.
Everybody's good in this game.
He's a ponytail character with, like, a muscle shirt on.
So, frequently in 1, I would hoot and holler about custom sprites. Sprites only used for like one scene or something like that. 2 takes that to like the nth degree.
Yeah, I don't even know how many custom sprites I just saw, but there were a bunch.
Yeah. No, you know what? Yeah. Chat brings up the point. He does kind of look like Sabin.
Mm-hmm. Only, 10 years. This is. We found it. This is where Sabin went after he left.
Yeah. This is Sabin's training arc.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, text speed in this game is actually very slow. I'm gonna have to fix that
Yes,
immediately.
please. Thank you.
Alright, so you actually get a choice here to just go to sleep or go outside. And if you go outside, you actually get a bit more foreshadowing.
Yes.
So it's extremely worth it to go outside. There's no combat or anything. It's completely optional, but there's story. All right, settings.
Yeah.
Also, I
Also.
jumped in here briefly for some testing.
Uh-huh.
The button configuration for this game is so weird.
Yeah.
So
That's something you gotta, like, fiddle with a little bit.
yeah, circle is your run button. X is your talk to dudes. And even at fast speed, it's pretty much like I hit X to fill up
Yes.
the entire box.
Hey, do you see that run animation?
Yeah, we can run right from the start, and we actually have an animation instead of just moving faster. So yeah, triangle doesn't do anything. Square opens up the menu and allows you to go into stuff, and then if you hit square again, it closes the menu completely. But triangle will go back one menu.
Yes.
The actual reason for this is a one of them RPGs that lets you play entirely with your left hand.
Yes.
Select opens up the menu. L1 is accept, and L2 is no.
Also, a nice little thing to note is both Rio. Is it Rio or Ryu?
Rio.
Rio. There's a lot of vowels in there.
Mhm.
And Joey, start at level 2 as opposed to level 1 like your first schmuck. So these two actually have some training.
Yes, that's
And by
actually
some, I mean a little bit.
yeah, that goes into their backstory. They are recruits in the Highland Army.
Hmm.
You can walk around, look at all these boys, just like this guy sharpening his sword and everything.
Yeah, note
And
that
you-
these are youth brigade members.
Yeah, and you get a bit of a story here. The Highland Army was at war with the Joan city-state, I believe is what it's called.
Mhm.
And there's currently a peace treaty. So that's why, like, we were a brigade that was sort of like a border patrol / training outfit, and because of the peace treaty, we're being sent home. Yeah, Suikoden 2 is very much one of those games where, like your Mega Man's, your trying to think of like other really good examples where the 2 is way better.
In this time frame, there are not a lot of those, actually.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, it's getting into, like, PS era, so there are some games in there, but not all of them.
Yeah, but it's definitely one of those games where the 2 is way better. Now, Zelda.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's talk about Zelda and Final Fantasy and Castle. Well, no, sorry, I don't like Castlevania 2 as much as I like 1.
So
That
yeah,
was weird.
yeah, you saw a man. He runs off. And that's it. That's really all you can do. You can go north, and all you really see is that there is a cliff up there, and that's about it. Yeah, alright, there we go. And you go back in here, and Joey's like, yeah, we should probably go to sleep.
Yeah. But you got to see some stuff.
Yep. And tomorrow we go back to our town. A very slow start, similar to Suikoden 1. Also, you're in the army, just like Suikoden 1.
Yes, but in Suikoden 1, it's because your dad was a general.
Alright, that doesn't sound so good. Alright, this does not appear to be very good at all.
What are you talking about? It's fine.
Yeah, and our captain telling us, you know, all the cadets need to get out of here. Surprise attack by the city-state. And here's, you know, you see all the soldiers that you were just talking to, and they're all not in the best state. I will hoot and holler again about custom sprites that I don't think are ever used again in the game.
I don't think so.
Yeah, everybody is level 2. That doesn't really help too much when you get surprise attacked.
That guy has an arrow in his back.
Yeah. Going back to the times that this is sort of based on, that's death. Getting hit by an arrow, no matter what, is probably death.
It's not death, it's just pretty bad.
You're probably not going to be funny anymore, that's for sure.
Not in that fight, no.
Like, at all. A lot of people died from, like, a single arrow wound. A lot. Because, you know, medicine just wasn't what it was. So, there. I sort of glossed over it, but Joey's like, hey, they know this is the only escape route. It doesn't make any sense to go this way. And mysteriously, these people that we just left behind are dying. Everybody that just seconds ago were on their escape are dying. But only allies were back this way.
Well, they got shot up a bunch, so... The problem is, all those arrows are in their back.
Yeah. That is a very good touch.
Oh, who's this guy?
This guy is the best character in the game.
I think you mean series?
Yeah. Luca kind of makes this game for me. Luca is such a fantastically well-written character.
I think you should go fight him right now. It'll go real well.
This is a very good moment of like, oh, my blade's getting rusty because I can't fight. He's like, yeah, no, I mean, no, your blade can never dull. In order to signify that Luca is a scary-ass man. You don't say anything bad to him, no matter what. Do not agree with him, even if it means, like, don't say anything that is bad about him, even if it is agreeing with what he just said. And yet, it's a good point. So, I love Luca. I love other villains in video games. I think Seymour is a pretty okay written villain for 10. I think Kefka, if you actually get down to his shit, is a pretty interesting villain. They're superpowers of some sort. Luca's just a dude.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's not spoil it too much, other than, yes, this man is... He is not nothing.
Yeah, and this is obviously not a good situation, so we should run. We need to get out of here. This is bad. This is extremely bad. which is normally like what I would like. That is what like plot line makes sense you would do. But actually, you get a little, if you walk up, you get a little bit more story. And there's your little line to indicate that Luca is royalty.
Yeah, they said he was Prince Luca earlier, but this is definitely a continuation of yes. This is a very important character.
God, just look at this combat screen. And just like, even the combat screen looks so much better.
Yes.
The game doesn't change too much combat-wise from the first. You still get your, you choose an attack command, or you choose defend, or you can use your items.
There is a unite command. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm sitting on that for just a moment.
Okay. Also, hey, did your main character just hit that guy twice?
Yeah, they like character attacks make sense to weapons that they're using. If they hit multiple times, they'll hit multiple times. The experience screen at the end, also very nice. Changed. You get to see everything happen at once.
Yes,
I
the
got
numbers.
I got a good drop from that. Holy crap.
What are you talking about? That's not that great of a drop. I haven't actually seen it yet. That's okay. Let's keep going a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good free super heal.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's go punch Luca in the face. See what happens.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Yeah, the game is just like, no, you would die. Yeah, somebody said that this game kind of feels like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the RPG. In that analogy, Luca is very much Lu Bu.
So even if you hadn't gone to talk to Raud and I want to say Lu Bu now, Luca, he'd show up here anyway. So
Yeah.
the story does connect.
Now, the reason I didn't hit that Unite command is Rio and Joey together are a force to be reckoned with because the Unite attack, buddy attack, is gross. It does their normal attack damage, both of them combined in an AoE. And to put that in perspective, let me just hit this enemy group right here.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much kills everybody except for the general, who is real messed up. Oh boy. He actually dodged. And they're just like expanding on this again. Even the level up is fine, great, because you get to see everything all at once. You get to see the
that
stats
crit.
that everybody got. It's real nice. Real
Oh
good.
yeah.
So you can say like, no, we'll never make the current, but all that actually does is it gives Raud time to go get more reinforcements and you are in more forced fights.
Yeah.
So, yes, this is that but thou must sort of situation.
There's actually a thing that if you do it 64 times, a little thing with Raud shows up, but it's not worth fighting 64 bonus fights.
Yeah, I did it once, and yeah, it's just super not worth it at all. And here we have a plan of, if we get separated, we'll make this mark. Well, no, we'll come back. And again, here you can say, forget it, we'll make it together, and like you get a bunch of options like that. But the only thing that concludes from that is eventually Joey's like, no, I kind of like this idea. I'm making the other mark. Shut up. So this doesn't really change too much, except for one little thing later, and I'll point it out when it happens.
Mm-hmm. Nice little touch that even though these guys use a staff and the tonfas,
Tonfas.
yeah, they also have daggers on them, which is
Yeah.
what they made those little marks with.
Of course.
By the way,
because-
this is straight out of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
extremely.
I was trying for a week to come up with a name that somehow included Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid for the name of this thing, but I couldn't do it.
I really like this intro sequence. I guess a little aside, a little fun thing to, oh, that's what it is. 64 Fights gets this sequence in color.
Aha.
So I've mentioned briefly every now and then that I DM a campaign that Crumb and a couple of the other co-commentators on this are in. I actually based part of that campaign off this intro.
It's a good intro.
I had a whole thing of like a bunch of warring tribes of Dragonborn that started an all-out war because one tribe faked a surprise attack on another, or on their own.
Also, look at these guys go.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things in here, such as Rio and this other mysterious girl who's showing up a lot.
Who? I don't know who that is.
She
must not be important.
Yeah, they're in very commoner garb, but Joey is in more prim and proper garb.
Also, for people who don't use swords, why are they given swords? Who cares? They'll never use swords.
Is this a Clive run? Man, what a cool story that is locked behind one of the dumbest things. Don't put time gates in your RPGs. I'll talk more on that when we get to him.
There's a way to do it that doesn't really ruin too much.
Yeah, but I just hate being under a time constraint.
Yep. Who's this guy?
Nah, he's back. Yeah, as stated before, even without loading the Suikoden 1 data, there are a lot of returning faces from 1.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, this only takes place 3 years afterwards, and it's like a neighboring kingdom.
Mm-hmm. I think it's to the south.
I want to say north.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's this bear?
Bearman.
Also, for those curious, like, what happened to Victor after the first game, he's fine. The second game answered that question in, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah. What about they died? They sacrificed? No, they're fine. they're fine, actually. Everybody's fine. No, I loaded data. It was a bit of a jump. I'm just saying that, like, yeah, Victor here shows up either way. It's not like something that happened because I loaded data.
So, his right cheek, is that like a lock of hair, or is that his cheekbone? I can't tell, and it's starting to freak me out.
I think it's his cheekbone because he has the same thing on his right
On
side.
the other side.
Yeah.
Or is it a scar? Who knows?
Nah, there you go. Gregminster Empire is to the south of Highland.
Okay. Oh, who's this guy?
Who's this pretty boy? So I should mention, I actually played Suikoden 2 first
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't as easy to find games back then.
Yeah.
So like this whole thing of like, Flick and Victor, it's like like to anybody who's played the game is like, I know them, pointing at the screen, and I was just like, oh, okay, they seem all right.
Who are these guys? They're a little important. Now, for people who are curious, obviously Newbie's played this game many, many times, and I've played through it a couple times, not as many. But we might have other co-commentators who come in eventually who have never played this game before, so they will give us their, like, blind interpretations of some of the things that are happening.
And here we are. So again, a little summary of what has occurred. Victor here is again, Victor and Flick are part of a rebel army. and they are directly opposing Highland. So you being in Highland soldier, they're like, all right, well you were in the river for some reason, but you're technically our enemy, so gonna have to lock you up.
Yeah, have fun with that, and that cell we put you in, that storage. I don't know.
Storage, inventory, just count those boxes for us.
Yeah. All
Hello,
right.
everyone.
Oh,
Man, it's almost like I saw the other commentator wanted to jump in who hasn't seen this game before.
Hi, everyone. I'm Argona. I have never seen this game before. We're sneaking in cells and stuff, so clearly it's Metal Gear Solid.
Yes. Same, manufacturer.
but so this game does start off a little bit faster. Whoa. Sorry, getting the boxes to advance at a proper speed is a little hard. This game started with like the plot happening maybe a little faster, but believe me, is it gonna have its menial task section?
Hey, you want to learn all the different things you can do in this game? Great, here's some tutorials.
Push some boxes. No, of course I'm gonna collect all the characters. That changes the story. There are big things that happen if you don't collect all the characters. Unlike the last one where it's just you get a character back and the ending sequence changes a tiny bit.
A little bit, yep.
This ending changes a lot.
Yeah.
Let me get that rope.
Okay, so one of the things I do know about this Suikoden series is that, yes, there are a whole bunch of characters.
Mhm.
Now, I imagine with that number of characters, obviously not all of them can get a whole lot of focus, but
A fair few do.
yeah, I'll be interested in seeing like just how much each character gets.
Yeah, some are just sort of recruited and then are a menu. Like, obviously not, you can't focus on... Like, there's characters in one that are easily just there for filler.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, alright, we want to go with the whole 108, stars, like, mythology thing. Well, we can't come up with 108 unique characters. So, here's the person that tells you rumors. I'm the guy who makes the bathhouse, yeah. Alright, we need to get 2 boots, 3 flints, 2 bags of flour. Now the game is actually pretty nice about this because you have to remember, but the other options are very much like, I'm not sure about this.
A nice little touch is underneath the torches you can see some embers on the ground.
Yep, there is a ridiculous attention to detail in this game.
Yeah, if you do say 3 pairs of boots there, you get a free pair of boots, but whatever.
That's criming. Yeah.
Stealing is wrong.
But we should also note this little thing right here. Alright, hand over 2 pairs of boots, 2 flints. Where's the flour? Oh, well, they didn't have any. That's a very easy thing for them to gloss over. And it is actually important. Maybe asking, why is that important, newbie? Well, we have a special item menu, and now we have a flint.
Dun dun dun.
Also, yeah, let's look at this real fast. They revamped the party menu completely, like the item menu. You now have
Yes.
a like group thing of items that you can assign to people, and then people's respective things.
Hey, what's that flaming arrows thing?
That is a spell scroll. You don't need runes to cast magic anymore. I mean, that still exists, but
Yeah.
you do have like one-time use scrolls.
Or in this case, 2-time use.
Yeah. Hold up. Hold
They
on.
did revamp some of the spells that people have in this game, so some things, if you saw the first game, might be a little different about what does what. Also, hey, this lady has a portrait. That's weird.
People with portraits are important. Kobolds return. Dog people.
Yep.
You know them, you love them. Dogs. I think they expand that. They kobolds in this aren't only dog people, right? There are other races of kobold.
I think kobold is like a catch-all term for
Half humans.
half humans of a certain variety. We will see that as we go along.
Yeah, the kobolds in this are much better because they're animated up a bit instead of like being like realistic pictures of dogs.
What are you talking about? That's great. I want to get my buddy who says hooray again and has a really good sword as a weapon. I think that was a gone.
Yeah.
I'm glad this dog is walking you.
Yes. That's the irony. Hi, Tuta. You're not going to be an important character someday in the future.
I sat on my foot and now my leg's asleep and now it's got that weird point where all like the nerves are waking up. I hate it. It's the worst.
That's a good reply to Tuta. A+.
Gengen has to escort 2 tiny children. Now,
Yes. This... I forgot that the innkeeper just did that. It's like, yes, please. You're the only one who can help us. Fine, I'll do it.
now weapons do have ranges and they work the same way.
Mhm.
Medium can hit from the back row but can only ever hit the front row of enemies. Short can only hit front row from the front row. And long range can hit from the front and the back and can hit front and back of the enemy as well.
I believe long row in the front can only hit the back row of enemies if there are enemies in the back and front. But if long's in the back, they can hit wherever the heck they want.
That would be interesting. But yes,
We will
Tuta,
find out. Yes, he is a child.
Yeah, well, first of all, yeah, that's something I didn't realize for a really long time is Tuta is a he, first of all.
Yes.
But yes, Tuta is a child. Tuta is supposed to be a medic, and in a really interesting way. Because you would think, like, okay, a healer in this game would obviously have, like, the water rune, which is the healing thing. But this game expands runes in an interesting way. Tuta has the auto potion rune. And comes, God, I'm gonna have to get used to these controls.
Yeah, it'll
Tuta
take a little bit
comes
of time.
with a bunch of medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So he, God, he is actually a doctor, or a doctor in training.
And Tuta comes with a crap load of medicine.
A doctor who just throws medicine at you. Seems legit.
Chemist. Man, this pole character also has a portrait. I see a lot of people who might be joining up later on.
What? That surely isn't a mechanic in this game, even though we've said it already.
Or they'll be bitter rivals. Who knows? By the way, having a prisoner go to a town makes no sense.
They have an escort.
It-
And, you know, your walk to the town is very short, but, you know, let's look at battle a little bit. Let's get into another fight.
Look at this! Look at this!
The overworld is so good.
Oh man, world map.
It's a good world map.
So, yes, there you go. Actually, we can test your back. Nope. Long range can hit no matter what.
No matter. Okay, that might have been an artifact from the first game.
Uh-oh. And the game does do that nice little thing of, you know, if you target multiple
Artificing.
enemies, everybody goes at the same time.
Yes, it makes battle go so much quicker.
Yeah, imagining 6 characters having to go one after the other makes me sad.
Now, a good thing about this is this does show the difference between your kobold buddy and the 2 people that he's bringing along. Because even though he's only 3 levels higher than you, at this point in the game, that's a pretty substantial amount.
Also, the difference there, Rio has a level 1 weapon. Tuta has a level 2 stone. Sharpen that stone before you use it, of course.
Yeah.
Gengen has a level 3 sword.
Yes.
Now the crazy thing here also to see is that the stone has as much damage as the sword with a 1 level difference. But
Details.
the other thing is that Gengen has way higher attack overall.
Yeah, that's the 3-level difference kicking in, and also that Tuta's probably not meant to be a fighter.
Nope, Tuto is a healer.
However, weapons. Hey, how do those work, newbie?
Well, if you remember, I'm actually going to show that off in a second.
Man,
What the?
what timing?
Plans. So this whole little segment is very easy. You can mess around in the town, which I do recommend doing.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you just need to run to the inn and run back. Yeah, I think we talked about that briefly during 1, but 5 is a pretty good game with a seemingly nice story. But Hoofa, the load times are so rough.
I think 5, it's not unplayable, but it brings a game that I would say almost rivals 2 in a lot of ways down considerably. Like, I really like the idea that they went forward with a ton of stuff in 5, but unfortunately it's held back by some of the design, just various things, like the load times.
And of course, the whole thing that Tuta is trying to make you do is, hey, go take a look at that around town and look at the shops. You can spend some of that money that you have. I'm not going to do that right now. It also should be noted that you can look at the inventory of Gen and Tuta, but you can't actually equip or de-equip anything on them.
Yeah, they're kind of like
Temporary members.
guest characters,
Yeah.
but they're definitely wearing better gear than you are right now.
Here's the important thing. Sharpening weapons. Now, we can't, of course, again, do that to Gen, or Tuta, but we can do it to Rio.
Which is a very good idea.
He doesn't gain a whole bunch, but it's progress.
A little bit. Can you sharpen it again to 3?
Nope, I am short on money.
How much short are you?
200.
Sell some medicine.
We'll be fine.
Sell that mega medicine you
We'll be
found.
fine.
Okay. Now, a big thing... Yeah, good, you saw her too. Hi, Bolgan. You're the best.
Yeah, these little... those guys. Also, I didn't talk to her, but... here's Millie and her ridiculous hat.
Yeah, that's what I was about to point out. You ran past, it's like, please go talk to Melly. I like Melly.
Millie's a good early character, but we'll see more of her in a bit.
Yep.
Wait, what's his face in the inn?
He might be.
No, he's not. I don't think that's till later. I think I'm just...
It wasn't that I want him to steamroll, it's just that the sharpening weapons is much more apparent on characters who hit twice compared to once, because the damage output is, crazy.
There's a reason that they made your main character a 2-hit weapon.
Yeah, mainly they wanted to show off, we can 2-hit now, guys, it's cool. But also, yeah, it's a nice change of pace. Also, another main character in the Suikoden series who doesn't use a sword.
There aren't actually a ton that use swords. I think only the main character of 4 uses straight up swords, and even then it's a dual sword.
One of the main characters of 3 uses a sword.
Okay, but like the main character of 3 is
Hugo?
Hugo.
Versus
There we
Hugo.
go.
Yeah, he uses a short sword, dagger thingy.
It's a dagger.
Yeah, but the other 2 use swords.
Yes.
Spoilers, Suikoden 3 has lots of main characters, and it's good.
Yeah, it tries this like storytelling from multiple perspective things, which it does well. Yeah, Chris and Godot use swords.
Godot might actually be my favorite main character.
Godot's really fucking good.
Yeah.
But more on that if we ever get to 3. 3 requires me to do
Oh,
fancier emulation, so
that's a long game.
it is a long ass game. 5 was really interesting for me because it was kind of a return to form in Suikoden, even with the weapons, because like most of the like in the first two, the main characters use very traditional Chinese weapons,
Mm-hmm.
and then they went over like a dagger and twin swords,
Mm-hmm.
which are a bit more Eastern. And then in 5, they use the tri-staff.
Yeah, the 3-section staff or whatever it is.
Yep. All right. Well, we had a bit of combat and moving around the map. Time for chores again. Time to clean stuff up with a rag.
That is not how you clean up oil, but sure, let's roll with it.
Yeah, you bend down with a rag and it gets really squeaky, and then the oil's gone.
I always appreciate when there's sprites for like ridiculously
Oh, that is
specific things like that.
yeah, that is like Suikoden. I've said this before, but Suikoden 1 was kind of like that. Suikoden 2 is ridiculously like that. There are custom sprites that are used for only one instance of anything.
Yeah, like he's holding the rag while walking around. That's so cool to me.
That was one of the things that like I didn't really appreciate at the time that I played it, but looking back now, it's such a ridiculous amount of effort knowing the amount of stuff that goes into game development.
So we've been in the other fort, Bear Fort. We're gonna call it Bear Fort. That makes sense. We've been in here for what, 2 days now?
I love that line right there of, oh, I can't make ends meet, peace just doesn't pay, and then Flick's like, it doesn't have to. Flick knows the fucking score. Flick knows when it went down.
Yeah, it also is a nice thing to see that Flick, who was reasonably young when you last saw him, definitely looks older.
Yeah. Also, here's how you know when you're done for the day, the rag changes from a rag to an oily rag.
Also, who spilled all the oil?
Yeah, how did all this oil get all over the place? What the?
So you have an oily rag, you have some flint, and a rope. Okay.
That rag, just get rid of it. No, I'm gonna keep it. What? I'm keeping it. It's mine. I don't have many possessions in this world. Ah, he's back. Now you can say nothing there, and it just takes longer for this scene to progress. All right, we've been hooting and hollering, but here's my buddy. We're gonna get out. We're out of here. Let's pop this. Blow this popsicle stand. There we go. I got it. I got
There
it
you
eventually. Piss. Now you can give up, or you say, "Fuck him, let's bust it." Oh god.
Good plan.
Flick saw some shit. Flick is having
Just
none of
having
your business.
none of your business. Also, lightning Flick.
Yeah, lightning Flick. It was the flat side of his blade. Come on. Flick
Nope,
isn't
good game,
cruel.
guys. A plus.
I love that option. Of just, no, I'm going. No, piss. Just immediately denied.
It isn't even one of those like, oh, you could fight them, and if you do super well, you get like a reward. No, you just die. Or, excuse me, get knocked right the heck out.
And then, yes, here they are more and more spelling out the obvious that you should have probably figured out by this point of surprise attack by the state, but the state army hasn't moved. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go back home. God, Joey. It's very blunt. Are you still trying to escape? Yes. You should put 20 men outside my cell, or else I will leave.
At least they're honest about it. It is a nice touch to show that they are feeding these two, because they have absolutely no responsibility to do that. And at the time, it would have been considered perfectly normal for them not to get anything.
Yep. Also, found by a little girl. Surely that won't come into play. Hey, can I get a spoon? No reason. Nothing you can do with a spoon except eat some soup. I don't get this scene. I like the character portrayal, but just we made a whole scene. Do you want my carrots? Joey doesn't like carrots. That's his character trait.
Just remember this for later.
And now I'm getting flashbacks to Gundam. God damn it.
So, because people are curious about in the chat, in the first game, I believe Victor is 31. In this game, he is 34. So he is actually a little bit older than you think. But then again, he just looks roughly the same. He just looks burly.
So yep, that was the reason for the spoon, is he used it as a lockpick, which is a really good touch. I want to remind you that he broke that door open with his staff, that he still has. Now they fixed the lock so fast, it is beyond me. Things you don't think about as a kid, and then you spend a second go, wait, how? We're going to escape, but we don't want to hurt anybody. I'm going to start a fire. What? No. I'm going to start an oil fire. No, stop it. Joey, what are you doing? Also, we've been joking about Bear Fort, but I haven't walked out here yet. It kind of is literally Bear Fort.
I see no problem with this. That is an absolutely amazing banner, and I forget about it every single time.
You forget about it until you do the escape sequence, and then you immediately remember everything about that banner.
I'm fairly certain Victor himself made that.
Yes, that is supposed to be the joke. Nah. I think it's been mentioned a couple of times now, but first time I'll point it out. Rio has a sister.
Yeah, I think one of the soldiers, when you were talking to them, said, hey, when we get back to town, I'm totally going to ask your sister out.
Rude.
Joey has a sister. I think you said Rio has a sister.
Do they both have sisters?
No, Joey does. Rio does not.
Yeah, he does.
Nonsense.
Anyway, back at the town, first order of business, and this is why I didn't spend money right away. We need to upgrade Joey's weapon. Joey gets a similar upgrade, but any more damage is helpful, especially since quite a few of our fights early on. Yeah, Joey has a younger brother. That's what it is. Very early on, a lot of our fights may, in fact, boil down to buddy attack.
Yeah, well, I see no problem with this.
The circus is in town.
Fire breathing.
Now, while this is going down over on the side, I'm just going to open up my list. Okay, good. Yeah, we're alright. We're good. Haven't missed anybody. It's very early on. You can't miss anybody for a while.
No.
There are times that it's confusing where they don't have custom sprites. Like, I feel like there should have been, like, a him getting dragged sprite there.
Well, they were using all the custom sprites on the fortune telling and the knife juggling and the fire breathing.
Please don't move. She hasn't been doing too well lately. But we have good medicine. And there is an option to move.
But which one will you take?
Don't move.
That's the correct option.
Ah, watermelon, a pumpkin. Nothing too threatening here. Bananas. I don't think that would be the type of fruit that you would do a knife throwing. Okay, yeah, sure.
Listen, it's really impressive, okay?
Oh my. And for comedy's sake, move to the right.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing happens to that. You just get this little extra scene of where they're like, you shouldn't have moved. What are you, stupid? Yeah, if you just stay still, it goes completely fine. That is a entirely, like, optional thing. Like, this game is just full of, like, these little optional things.
By the way, Rita's portrait always looks like she is very much under the influence of something, alcohol or whatever, because she looks spaced out.
Yeah, circus drugs.
Yeah, I know how the portrait is supposed to be portrayed, but to me, when I first saw it, it's like, yeah, she looks kind of out of it.
Hell yes. It's my pleasure to travel with such beautiful ladies. As always, you take the comedy options. Yes. And we pretty much have a dungeon to go do. And the game is very kind in that they give you a bunch of party members to come along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe one of those party members comes with a spell?
Yes, one of them has the fire room. And you do want to switch Bolga into the front room.
Yes.
Front row.
Yes, thank you.
Bolga ain't gonna do nothing in the back row. Bolga has a fire breath rune, and Rena has the fire rune. Period.
Yeah, Fire Breath Rune. He has a rune that let him do the act that he was doing earlier. That is a great touch.
Yeah, and there is a very nice little balance here. Right. Bolga as there are some text problems in this game,
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
such as Bolga's
He's
weapon.
got a glove.
Glove. Punch glove. I think all of Rena's weapons are various tarot cards.
Yes. She was doing tarot readings earlier
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we were watching.
But there's a good balance here of like Rena's a spellcaster, Bolga is a punch boy, so he has very high attack, and Ellie doesn't. She's a range attacker, but she has a very high leveled weapon compared to the other ones.
I think it's supposed to be that Ellie's the in-between between the two. She's actually pretty close to your main characters in terms of what she does. But she's long range compared to their medium range.
Yep. Unfortunately, we don't have any money, or really anything, so there's not much more for us to do in that town. I think we're going to do a slightly long first episode. I think we're going to get done
Sure.
this dungeon and then cut a video. Ah, Unite attack. In fact, let's back up a little bit here. Make sure we don't kill all the enemies with Buddy. Circus attack, which just read that again. 2 times damage versus 1 enemy from all 3 of these.
Yeah, so the three of them team up to do one heck of a bunch of damage to one enemy unit.
Yeah, maybe 164 for this early in the game. Maybe a bit much.
So I'm
That's-
guessing these are like the dual and triple text from Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that, yeah.
Unites utilize a lot of the multiple members of your party in order to do attacks.
In the first game, there were a handful of United attacks, but there weren't a ton. In this game, they definitely dialed that up.
Yes. Any character that has some form of a relationship generally ends up getting Unite attacks. Some better than others. Clay Guardian. That was a scroll.
Yeah.
Ah, defense boost. Noted.
I think that's the first level of the Earth Magic.
That makes sense.
I think. I could be wrong about that.
And we'll just auto this one. Should be able to kill these.
Oh yeah,
enemies.
that is a good point. The dual and triple or whatever techs in this game, they don't use magic to use. Occasionally, it'll unbalance a character, which is what happened to Bolgan there. He pretty much was stunned. All he could do on the next turn was just defend. So there's a balance between using things at certain points and not using them.
And the biggest that any Unite attack gets is 5, obviously, because, well, no, it'd be interesting if there was a 6-1, including the main character. But unfortunately, no.
Mist monster.
Mist monster, Mist dragon. Oh my. Sometime later. Joey just very confused, new to the world.
Yeah, so remember when I said that she kind of looks spaced out? That she's not actually spaced out. Those are seductive eyes.
Adult conversation.
Adult conversation.
Yeah,
Yep.
is that what we're calling it now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 hours later. Early fights really
By the
don't.
way, welcome to the first dungeon.
Yep. The oh, it's like the North Sparrow Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Early fights don't take too much thought though. Joey.
Might need some medicine.
Yeah. Joey, what? Come on.
So, a fun fact, neither Joey or Rio, it's never going to happen. I'm just going to be saying Ryu the whole time, healed up at any time when they were, like, sleeping, quote-unquote, at bear base. So, they aren't up to full HP.
Split paths. Nice. Oh my god, I think. Yeah, there is a full heal right there.
What?
Now, firewall. And actually flame arrow too. These are very nice. Extremely good.
Yes.
I'm actually going to the items. Joey actually comes with a flame arrow on. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Alright,
if Vulcan gets knocked out, he'll get revived.
Yeah, no, he's good. Now I have to remember to steal all their shit.
Details.
A single dog.
Truly the greatest of enemies.
A single dog. A single fire breath. Whoa, not fire breath. Wait, that's not right. Circus attack. Oh boy. Dog hit hard.
Yeah. There's a reason dog is by itself.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Sacrificial Juzo sells for 2,500. So it's a very nice way to fix our money situation early on.
Hello, level up for Joey.
Fortunately,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, without a. There you go. Conversely, this is a perfect situation for buddy attack. While obviously costs of upgrading equipment still gets ridiculous, there is crime to fix that later on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, that statue isn't going to allow us to fix our weapons too well, but it is going to let us buy a lot of armor and stuff because that's all.
Yeah, it'll
like
let you get a little bit better gear. Maybe upgrade your weapons a bit, but not too much.
Again,
But every little bit counts at the beginning.
buddy attack is extremely useful.
Oh man, look at all these bandits. That's actually a lot of guys.
It's a lot of guys, and now it's not a lot of guys. An ornament.
Weirdly enough, the only things or people that lived were the archers.
Yeah, that's weird.
And ooh, also those guys gave you a ton of money.
Yeah, they like to throw a lot of these like groups of enemies at you very early on, and really it's like for as long as the animation is, buddy attack is just the best way to deal with this.
Yeah. Also,
They
it's
give
nice to
you-
really reinforce that these two really do work very well together.
Yes. Is left item? Left is progress.
By the way, it's a nice little touch with those bees that instead of just, disappearing like most enemies do, they get knocked out of the air and fall over.
Pretty much anything bigger than a group of two is just going to get buddy attack. At least until we're like level 5, and then we should be able to take stuff up. Brass armor.
Ooh.
Oh, That's another reason why Joey gets hurt so much. He has fuck all for equipment.
Yeah, he's got a tunic on. You've got
Yeah.
I mean, neither of you have particularly great gear on.
Yeah, we'll give him the brass armor. Well, actually, is his tunic better for Rio? It is. Perfect.
There you go.
Because Rio has a bandana, so he has slightly better. They actually had the same armor, just spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, these bees, unlike most level 1 bee enemies in RPGs, can't poison your party, because that would be extremely annoying.
Oh yeah. They just deal a little bit of chip damage.
They're meant to wear you down, not to actually be a threat.
Oh hey, they all leveled up.
Now, I believe this game does also get the eventual, like, once you have leveled far enough, the let go option.
Yes.
Should be able to hit level 5 on the boys.
Perhaps.
Before.
Also, another thing to note, just because it doesn't come up too often, Bulgan is also another one of those 2-hit people, because he punches twice.
Yeah, he has 2 fists, 2 gloves.
Also, he is huge. Look at that guy.
He's the strong man. Your early teams do generally have a little bit of a problem in that they're a little slow, and enemies will generally outspeed them, which is a little unfortunate. But there we go. Everybody has some nice, substantial health pools. We got a vase. Those are the same things as they were in 1. You eventually can get those appraised and sell them, or use them for a thing that I never messed around with in the first game.
Showing off your sweet loot. Oh man, what's this thing?
It's a save point.
What's a save point?
111. Did I really save at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 1 second?
Nice.
I'm kind of impressed.
Oh shit. Cut rabbits.
Hey, I think those things drop useful runes if you can get them.
Alright,
Definitely not worth, like, trying to farm it, but if it happens, it happens.
Pretty much, in the first game, we did unlock the bath, and the bath was used to see some extra cutscenes between characters. But the other thing that you can do with the bath is you can put your art there and look at it.
That's weird. Your whole party, you know, split up into their individual pieces. Oh, that's why.
It's here. Now, Joey
That's
comes
a
with these
big one.
flaming arrows, which are way better to use than his normal attack. And you pretty much always want to be using Circus Attack whenever it's up on the Mist Dragon. God, that wasn't even intentional. The Mist Monster. Same difference, really. I believe it's actually weak to fire. So, yeah, they gave you this, you know, they set this up for you pretty much.
Yeah, your basic attacks are doing 14 or 15, but the fire arrows did 95, and the fire breath does, you know,
Enough.
a lot.
Oh. Yeah, the other really rude thing is that this guy attacks 3 times a turn.
I think it's random, like 1 to 3.
Yeah, Joey and Rio are pretty much going to be kind of medics here. And going to be making sure everybody else stays up. And that was why I put the firewall on Bogan, because if you're knocked out, you can still use items.
Yes.
Or unbalanced. I think knocked out is actually a different status.
Yeah, knocked out is on the ground, like 0 health.
Oh, jeez.
Look how much better the animation for spells is in this game.
Lady. I don't remember this mechanic. I'm just gonna go with the United Attack. Ah, right, okay, the lady uses magic. Which is actually slightly less threatening. It just doesn't, actually, it doesn't, like, the boss attacking is...
Did more.
Yeah, it's way more. Also, here's the thing. You can take, your turn could just be taking something from your bag. Restocking your items.
Ellie is actually a very useful character in this set because she's, I think, your fastest person. So she can definitely get off before the boss does and do a nice little heal on someone if they're low.
Oh, it was the boss. Okay, cool.
You did it.
Ah, we got a heal scroll.
Also, for a first boss, that boss is pretty rough.
Yeah, that's scarier than I remember. I probably grinded a bit though.
Maybe, I don't know, more gear, who knows.
Yeah, I probably bought some defense and all that. Yeah, and it only, like, again, it only has about 800 HP, and the nice thing is they give you 2 characters that do very nice damage. And as stated before, we're almost done with this dungeon. I'm just going to take the others off of our companions here.
Thank you for the equipment. We really appreciate it.
Never used Anger Blow because we were using her spells. But it is a very nice, it's a scroll. It's a scroll to cast, I think, the level 1 lightning.
Yeah, lightning or wind or whatever. I think it's lightning, actually.
Oh, hold up, side path. Feather hat. Very nice. Let's actually slap some of this equipment on Rio and Joey. That's extra protection. Oops.
Also, that feathered hat has wind resistance on it, which I'm sure will come up at some point.
Rio actually has exceptional other defense stuff.
Yep.
Hold up, it doesn't make sense to have leggings and boots. You can't have 2.
Why not?
There we go. Now Joey and Rio are much more kitted out. Not saying, like, I know that our party might not be with us too much longer.
What are you talking about? They're our bestest buddies forever. They'll stick around for as long as the game goes. Whoa, that dagger missing animation was a little weird.
This is extremely good, just sort of hovering in the air a little bit. As you fight the Mist Dragon... I'll keep doing that. The Mist Beast only halfway through the dungeon. Yeah. Before the end of the dungeon, you split up from the circus. So, even in the over... Oh, no, they're still with us. Weird. Weird that they would have that little animation there and they don't actually split up.
They're just giving you a heads up that once you get to town, these 3 are leaving.
Speaking of which, there's a lot of plot that's going to happen in this town, and we've been going for a good bit for this first video, so I'm going to split a video here, and I'll see you next time.